Everybody that's jumping in online, welcome. I'm Matt Cope. We've got Danielle online at the moment and Suzanne as well. We're all with the new flat rate. We're going to say welcome and thanks for joining us for the Business Uncensored, pre-Business Uncensored, I guess, webinar today. And we'll try to make it exciting for you. Today's webinar, though, is a webinar setting. What that means is we can't see you or hear you. And so we would love for you to participate with your online chat. And so if you could, if you are watching this live today, go ahead and just type in that chat live so that we know you're here and you're paying attention. And throughout the webinar, if you got any questions, feel free to type those in and we'll address those as well. Also, if anything looks amazing and you're like, hey, this is awesome, excited, give us some little emojis down there, like some little fire emoji or some thumbs up, some clapping hands, something like that. But diving in, Danielle and Suzanne, we are here to talk about Business Uncensored, and I am super excited because it's only a couple weeks away. And it looks like it's coming up in October 1st through 4th. That's a Tuesday through a Friday. Friday is your travel day. But we do have some stuff actually available on Tuesday for those of you that can get there a little bit early and join us. We'll be talking about that as well. But Danielle, Suzanne, are y'all excited?
Cannot wait.
Very excited.
It'll be awesome. We can't wait to see all of you that are jumping online here at the event as well. But diving in, I'm just going to kind of hit click on here and show you a little bit about where we're going to be going. For those of you that haven't booked your trip yet, Business Uncensored is going to be located this year at the Chattanoogan Hotel in the beautiful Chattanooga, Tennessee. It's funny, I was downtown Chattanooga actually yesterday, and my daughter, my 17-year-old daughter, she was like, you know what? Chattanooga seems like it's a city that should be in the movie Annie. And I don't really know why she meant, if it's because it was sad and depressing and a bunch of orphans everywhere, but I'm leaning towards the sun will come out tomorrow side of that and say that it was a very great musical and incredible city. And I will tell you, for those of you that haven't been there, it is just that. It is an absolutely beautiful city and worth the trip, really just to visit that as well. Suzanne, Danielle, have y'all visited our location at the Chattanooga Hotel yet?
Yes, I have. Suzanne?
I have not. It will be my first time at this hotel, and I'm excited to see it. It's beautiful on the screen.
It is a beautiful hotel. It's a kind of a historic landmark in Chattanooga. But the great thing about it is it's got plenty of room for everyone that's going to be making it to Business Uncensored. And even some of your friends too, if you want to bring some tag-alongs, we'd love to have them there. But the Chattanooga is easy access, really from the airport. One thing about the surroundings, just for everybody's travel leisure, as you're on here, Ubers are generally readily available in Chattanooga. So if you don't rent a car, it's usually not a problem. And there's an awful lot of great fun stuff within walking distances, whether you're an early riser and want to go out for breakfast in the city rises with you. So it kind of works well. But that's where it's going to be located, as at the Chattanooga. And so if you haven't gotten your rooms booked, make sure you jump online, look up the Chattanooga Hotel by Hilton on Broad Street there in Chattanooga, and get those taken care of. But moving forward, the event starts October 1st, which is a Tuesday, and it technically starts first thing in the morning. We've got a session going on just to kind of kick it off for those of our members that are in our best practice group called Freedom Builders University. But this year is really the first year that we've actually opened it up to all of the attendees to join. And so all day from 9 to 4:30 on Tuesday, we're going to be having a process implementation workshop. Danielle, Suzanne, what do you guys think about process workshops? You been to any?
Yes, specifically the one the day before Business Uncensored, the full event. So this pre-day, what I love about this process workshop is it's a little bit more intimate of a group. We have the high-level business content, the learning, the training, but you actually have the time to make the application for your business while you're there, versus come Wednesday, Thursday, you're in the full conference, you get all this great information, these great ideas, and then you plan to do them and implement them when you get back to the office. But Tuesday, this process implementation workshop is that. It's what can we work on collectively together, the group think, the people together, expanding their brains together, working on their businesses together during that day. It's really powerful. I love it. Suzanne?
Yeah, for me, I really believe wholeheartedly that process is going to run a company, not people. So it's going to give us time to, focus on where you need to focus. If it's in the office, writing process for the office. If it's with the technicians, writing process for the technicians. But, everybody should have a chance to succeed. And how do they do that? By process. They need to know what's expected of them. They need to have it in writing, and we need to follow through.
Awesome. And remember, for everybody, if you haven't been to a process workshop before, in that day, we'll not only teach you how to write process for your company, but we'll give you the tools needed to do it, from the templates to the instructions to even the guidance. All of our process coaches will be there. We'll have Suzanne, myself, Danielle will be around, and even some of our other coaches that some of you haven't met that will be there working hands-on with you. So if you get stumped and you're like, I don't even know how to do this, all you got to do is raise your hand and we will walk over and we will help you, because that's what it's about. It is about making sure that when you come in on Tuesday, you leave with things that are done, not like what Danielle said, not just a big to-do list. They're done, they're implemented or on the way to implement it into your company, but you can literally take it back and hand it to your team and say, hey, let's go this direction for a little while. And they won't get mad at you because it's not just a theory, it's actually put together. So what a great event. We're really excited for that Tuesday morning. For those of you that are traveling on Tuesday that you just maybe couldn't get there Monday night or early enough, then coming up Tuesday evening is actually our welcome reception. It's on the rooftop of the hotel. How awesome. And so we're actually going to be meeting on the roof. So if you don't know where it's at, find some stairs and walk up. That's my instructions for you there. But we're going to have a great welcome reception there on Tuesday night where you'll get your name badge and everything for the event. But you know what? One of my favorite things is about Business Uncensored is why we have it. You see, when it comes to Business Uncensored and the new flat rate, our slogan is that we keep families together. You might say, well, Matt, how do you do that? Well, we keep families together by helping them improve revenue and profits and really everything marketing, money marketing, team, and legacy that has to do with your company so that it improves the family dynamic by taking the stress and the pressure of business off of you. And one reason why we launched Business Uncensored in the first place was because we needed a place that was safe for all of our members to come together as leaders and managers to actually share openly with one another, not only what is working for them, but what their struggles have been, so that we can kind of create these peer-to-peer accountabilities and work together to solve it. And so when it comes to Business Uncensored, you'll look at something like a welcome reception. And Suzanne, it's easy to think, oh, we're just going to go get a drink. That's not what it's about. This is a chance for you to come. If you want to drink, great. If you don't, that's completely okay too. We'll have water and snacks for you. But with that open reception, it is about getting to know people in a non-pressure way that actually have already solved some of the issues that you're currently going through. And so looking at that, Suzanne, have you ever met anybody at one of our welcome set receptions that maybe needed help with something in their business?
Yes, I have. A majority of the attendees today I have spoken to, and what I asked them to do is to bring 5 things that they are struggling in their current business environment. So I asked them to reach out to the techs, reach out to their office, reach out to their leadership team, and get 3 from each of those groups. Put together a list of 5, and then typically what we will spend some time on is just looking at that list, getting them resources, getting them connected to other like-minded contractors or vendors that could help, with those same pains.
Are you thinking that some of our customers and members have already solved those pains today?
Yes, sir.
What a great deal. So when we look at this, the welcome reception, so much more than just getting together just for a good time. But if you want to just come for a good time, nobody's going to kick you out. It's going to be a great place, and we're excited for that. Thanks for that feedback, Suzanne. That's really awesome. So I'm
One other
excited
thing
to
I
see
want to
what those
mention,
lists are.
if they don't have time to make it to the business or to the Freedom Builders event on Tuesday, October 1, Danielle and team are working on a kind of done for you process binder document. I'm not sure what she's calling it, but we're going to have that available as well. So make sure that you all hit us up if you want to see that too when that is done. We're excited about that too.
Thanks for
Awesome.
giving me credit for that, Suzanne, because I think Matt's got a bigger hand in it, but I'll take the credit.
Well, we know last year many of you asked that question. You said, hey, we need to learn to write processes and adjust them, but it would be so much easier for us and helpful if you just kind of provided us at least the first version for our company. And so that's what we're working on right now, is building to deliver kind of your initial startup process binder to get your company going. Of hey, right away you can implement these. They're ready to go. Throw your name on it and call it yours. You don't even have to give us credit. Danielle's giving us credit. Suzanne's giving the credit, but you don't even have to give us credit. You get it. You take it and you use it, and we just want you to win. And so that's awesome. Thanks for remembering that. So Wednesday, though, what happens on Wednesday? Wednesday, for those of you that are late travelers that maybe even missed the original welcome reception, we hope you don't. But even if you do, definitely want to be there Wednesday morning because that's when our main conference event started. I threw some of the highlights up, but these are just the minimums. There's so much more that happens at this event. But we're going to kick the event off by really talking about maximizing opportunities. And man, I'm excited about what's going to go on here as we kind of break into a little bit about the service call life cycle for those of you that have seen it before. But we're going to be looking at this from a different angle this year. Many of you have told me recently that your companies are struggling with getting leads, and you're not getting as many leads as you were before. Matter of fact, I was talking to a data analyst about that recently, about the lead percentages that are going on Google of searches for home services and repairs and replacements this year compared to last. And he was saying that it's actually considerable less than we've seen in years past. And so that was a little concerning. So we started down this path of saying, well, if maybe there are less leads, what is absolutely the most important thing? And the most important thing is if you have less leads this year than you did the year before, it is vital that you maximize those leads on twofold. Number one, for revenue, because you got to have it to operate. So we got to get that revenue and profit. And then number two, on referrals. We got to maximize leads on a basis of referrals to make sure that we're generating those friends and families of all of our customers into customers of your company so that you can grow even if some of the other elements aren't quite right in your company today. So I'm excited to be kicking off the event with that. My good friend Steve Moon, I don't think he's online yet, but if he is, some of you met Steve before. He's going to be there actually talking about employee values for your company in the world of, hey, what can we pay people? Why should we pay it to them? And a little bit of insight on what the true cost is even on if we let somebody go. And so sometimes we think, oh, that person, I'm just going to get rid of them and replace them. Well, maybe you can, and I hope you get somebody good. But the question is was it more cost effective to do that? Or is it more cost effective to get that person the tools and training they need? And so Steve's going to be bringing some of that to us. And he's super excited for that and definitely wants you to be there. We've got some pressure point discussions from Danielle. Those of you that are thinking of selling your businesses, we've got the legendary Matt Michelle going to be on stage with us. We're super excited. For those of you that don't know who he is, he's one of the founders of Service Nation Alliance. And so he's going to be there sharing with us the truth about selling your company and what you need to know and what you shouldn't do. And so that's really good. And then we're even going to be talking about AI. You've seen some of our commercials and stuff on that. We've got several different speakers going to be talking about AI, how it affects your business and how you can use it, but from different angles. So it's not that's just the same stuff over and over again. It's different angles on what's going to help you the best in that world. Danielle, Suzanne, anything to talk about or to boost up here talking about our Wednesday plan?
This is really good. We've got a lot of break times built in here too. And that's something different about Business Uncensored from other conferences is we have listened to feedback. We're not perfect by any means, but something that is important to us is you guys. And so people have said, hey, we can't just sit here all day long. We're used to working in the field. It hurts us to sit here all day long. So we've got a lot of long breaks built in so that you can actually get to know the different partners that are in the room that are there, that you can hang out with each other. This is all about connectivity. And so when Matt, for example, is on the stage and somebody else takes the mic and asks a question, then afterwards, during these long breaks, you guys can get together. You can continue the discussions amongst yourself. And that's something great that is going to be happening on Wednesdays. We're really going to build the intimacy of the group by having those times to connect.
Awesome. That's right. Sometimes I forget about that, but that's one of my favorite parts, and everybody's favorite parts is just that time to really absorb what was said, so you're not just rushing from that class to class, so to say. I'm getting excited about this already. It's going to be fun. Hey, you know what? Coming into Thursday, we got more kind of great highlights here. Danielle, you know this one maybe more than I do. We're really excited to bring a keynote speaker this year. We've got Zach Garside there. What's Zach going to be bringing for us?
Scalable success with the right message. You know, Zach is one of the most brilliant marketers I've ever met in my life. And so he's all about kind of funnels, right? How lead flows and things like that. But there for a while, he was actually the CEO of Power Selling Pros. And so his business acumen is very high. He's very sharp, but he's one of the most likable, lovable humans you will ever meet. And so just 2 seconds with Zach, he will listen to you intently, absorb what you're saying, and spit back such great resources that you can apply. I think it's just a huge treat. You know, when we consider a keynote, we think, well, we could go find, you know, a superstar or a movie star or a band, you know, it's hard not to think, let's just go get this big name in lights. But we actually thought really long and hard about who would add the most value for you guys. And so that's why I was really excited. I remember saying to Matt, we're going to get Zach, and Matt and Melody were like, what? And just because they maybe hadn't spent as much time with him as I have been able to, and it's just been a pleasure. So again, please, when you come, be sure to meet Zach and let him talk to you about your business. He's been in the industry for he's young, but he's been in the industry long enough that he knows so much about it and can provide a lot of value, even just in a few minutes of meeting him.
Are you saying that this isn't a keynote that's just going to have security guards come up and rushing out the back door so nobody actually gets to meet him?
You know what is interesting about Zach is I don't think he knows that he's on the cuff. And that's why I'm also so excited that we've got him, because he's about to be up there with the security guards. But I don't know if he, you know, he's just too humble to realize that maybe. And so no, he's going to be personable sitting right there with you.
Awesome. Well, we're really excited about that. Now, for those you early risers, getting to Zach's session won't be difficult, but it is at 8 o'clock in the morning. And so for those of you that a little bit harder in the morning, let us know who you are. We'll be sure to have you a cup of coffee. I'll send Suzanne to your door. She'll get you a cup of coffee and wake you up. I'll send some of our other people to pound on the door about 6 a.m., wake you up if needed.
You'd probably
Definitely
be a
got to be there
better
for
one,
Zach.
man. I'll probably drink all the coffee by the time I get there. I love coffee, and I don't sip. I drink it.
Every bouncing. Wow. Hey, you know, some other great things on Thursday. There was too much to fit on my screen here, but we've got these small group learning sessions going on throughout the day because we realized that, you know, when we were building the agenda and the speakers for Business Uncensored, and that is one thing that's different. For those of you that haven't been to Business Uncensored in the past, one thing that's different with Business Uncensored versus the other big events out there is we actually hand select all of the speakers that are on stage. And so we're going to hand select the speakers, we hand select the vendors to make sure that their core values align with kind of where we're going and our beliefs as an industry and as a group. And so with that, though, we also realize that some of the speakers, even though their content is very valuable, it may not completely apply to your business and your company. And so in which case, we're going to give you the ability to actually choose, hey, which one of these am I going to get the best results out of? So you can go to one that applies for you, such as if you're a plumber and one's just based on HVAC, maybe that isn't the best one for you to be in, but we've got a plumber session going on guaranteed. And so we'll get that going for everybody. So make sure you check out your agenda to kind of plan out your day. But this is also why, for those of you that are in a company that have multiple people, we always recommend that Business Uncensored is for the owner of the company, maybe a manager or two, but we call it your implementers. And so your implementers, that way you can divide and conquer a little bit. If there are multiple sessions that you want to get to, you can always send somebody else. So speaking about sending somebody else, backing up to talking about Chattanooga, Tennessee, some of you have asked us the question, hey, what about my spouse? Can they come as well? Absolutely, your spouse can come to Business Uncensored with you, and they can go out and enjoy Chattanooga during the day if you want to give them your credit card and just let them go crazy in shopping, or they can come to the event. It's kind of up to you there, but we do have a spouse package to make sure that there's food and that they have tickets to the evening socials and things like that as well. And so if you didn't get one of those, make sure you let us know so we can get you set up for that also. But looking at that Thursday, a couple of other things to focus on is we're really going to be focusing this day on kind of your team and ultimately into your legacy, meaning how is it that I not only exit the business, but how do I get to the point in business that the company isn't a drain to me anymore? And that's really what we want to get to. We want to get to the point where it's not a drain. You don't regret, or I don't think that's the right word, but going to work. Like you're not like, oh my gosh, I got to go to work today. But you're excited about when you do go, because hopefully you get to a point where you're not working as much as you used to. I know in our Freedom Builders group, it seems like most of the members that joined Freedom Builders, when they started, they were all working, upwards of 60 to 80 hours a week, if not more. And I'm thrilled that as the years go by and we've got these members in there that have been there for a while, how much time, Suzanne, they're taking off. I was just talking to one of them the other day who's turned over most of the Freedom Builders calls and coaching and stuff over to his son. And I was talking to him. He's like, yeah, I've kind of let him take the reins. And I'm like, I know, because you're always gone now. He's like, yeah, I like to travel. And he is. And it's such a testimony, because if I go back when he joined the group a few years back, man, I couldn't get him to leave his office. I mean, it was like it'd be 8 o'clock at night and still be there. And so I'm thrilled to say that now most days I've got to ask the office if he's actually even there. And that's a big win in the world of legacy. Is we all want to get to the point to where our business is helping to fund our family, but in a way that's not detracting and stressing it out. And that's really what Thursday is about let's get those things fixed so that the company starts to operate on that wheel, and everybody has a job and knows what the job is, but it's not the end of the world if somebody has to step out for a few minutes. That's really where we want to go. So thrilled about everything that's going to be coming forward. By the way, I will highlight one other key speaker on Thursday. We've got Ben Middleton. If you've never seen Ben Middleton talking before, he's an excellent. I don't know that I would call him a speaker as much as I would call him a teacher. He's really an excellent teacher and speaker alike. He works for Daikin, which many of you know is the largest air conditioning manufacturer in the world, but he's kind of over their training side of things. And so anytime we can put somebody of his caliber on the stage as well, if you got an opportunity to see his class on expanding the size of your pie, that's going to definitely be a great session to sit in on as well. Just to even say that you've seen Ben speak, because he always brings something great to the call. Couple of quick things before we talk about our partners here is we get asked the question, hey, Matt, what do we do after hours? And we come all the way across the country. We're not from Chattanooga. We don't know what to do. Well, good news. Remember, Chattanooga is a place you can literally walk out the door and it's very, very safe. It's nice. There's going to be a lot of stuff going on downtown. If you just want to take a stroll, that's completely fine. But we have planned out the evening socials. If you want to join us, we would love to have you, kicking off on that rooftop bar there on the first day at the hotel, just to make it convenient for you. You get unloaded, you get checked in, come on up, say hi to everybody. But Danielle and Suzanne are very, very excited because on Wednesday in the evening at 6 p.m., this will be one of the largest after hours activities that we've ever been able to host. It's because we got some massive charter buses showing up to pick everybody up to go to really the legendary Ruby Falls, which we were discussing the other day, if that's one of the 7 wonders of the world. Don't think it really made the list, but it is absolutely an incredible thing to see. It is a beautiful waterfall in a cave of all things. And this is going to be hosted by the Daikin Company. And we've got kind of that place to ourselves, I believe, from 6 to 10, where you'll get an opportunity to actually go down inside the cave and take pictures and see the whole event as well. And so we're really excited about that. You guys excited?
Yeah. This is up in Chattanooga, Tennessee, and that area is one of the caving capitals of the world. And so it's, some people get a little bit claustrophobic. They've done a good job at making this feel safe, but you are very deep underground to go into this cave. They take you down an elevator and you are way down underneath a mountain. And then you walk, I think it's like half a mile into see this actual beautiful natural cavern with this waterfall. I don't want to spoil it for you, but it's going to be a great place to connect and to build relationships with each other as you're exploring this cave and this cavern and just enjoying it. And it's a neat thing. If you go to Chattanooga, you want to go to Ruby Falls. And so we're excited that Daikin Technologies said, and you know what's so funny too, is when they said, hey, we'd love to sponsor and partner with you guys, and we'd like to sponsor the evening activity, and we'd like it to be at Ruby Falls. I was like, oh, we never thought that we could actually go there, right? And so this is just, we can't wait. It's going to be so fun. But it's because of their, all the initiatives, clean air and, nature. And so it just fits in. I don't want to ruin everything. So I'll stop there.
How far do we have to crawl in the cave?
With our head turned halfway underwater. Just kidding.
So,
you may walk uprightly.
The whole time. You'll be fine. It's an easy cave, but a lot of fun for those of you that haven't made it. So that'll be happening on Wednesday evening. And then we are going to close the event on Thursday evening. But we've got an awards ceremony and a cocktail reception there at the conference center from 6 to 8. And really encourage everybody to be there because it's going to, again, be another great time to get all those connections that you need. And of course, who knows what you will win? It's going to be amazing. So that being said, that's the basics of the event. There's a few things I want to share with you, though, and before we jump off here today, and then we're going to answer any questions you guys have. But it's about our partners, and it's the fact that first of all, events like this, I know they cost money to travel to. I know they cost money for the tickets, and you know what? We're working hard that one day, hopefully, they won't. Hopefully, a lot more of that stuff will be available, and maybe we can even give tickets away for free. But what makes them even close to affordable are our partners. And unlike some other trade shows and stuff that are out there, which I don't have anything against trade shows, I love trade shows, you see a lot of great stuff. The new flat rate, we are very selective over our partners that come to Business Uncensored. Sure, we will take their check to help sponsor the program, but they really pay for the majority of putting these things on to make it possible. But we don't get hundreds and hundreds of vendor partners in order to make this thing a huge cash cow for us. We really just try to get enough to try to help cover some of the expense so that everybody can learn and enjoy what they get, and it's not overwhelming. But the ones that we selected, I did want to highlight them real quick, and I was going to kind of talk through some of them with Suzanne. as we go through here, and just kind of show you some of the people that have kind of helped put this together. And one of the first ones is our friends at Optimus Financing. And they're called financing, but contrary to all belief, Optimus is not actually a finance company, even though they kind of are. They utilize finance companies and banks. But one reason I put this on here first is many of you maybe don't know that the new flat rate actually has a full integration with Optimus that gives you practically instant payments when your techs are there in front of the customer. And it can give you instant payments on all of the options. So show the customer, hey, we can make this repair and it's only $35 a month. And we've got the integration that's in there that shows up instantly. So if you don't have that, you definitely want to get it signed up with Optimus through us as well. But they've become kind of our payment solution for the consumer to make it very, very easy. I was out last week on site, Suzanne, doing some ride-alongs, and I rode with 3 different techs last week, and every time I did, and they started talking about financing, they didn't have Optimus, but they were talking about financing, and they were having to send the customers to their website where they had multiple different banks listed on the website, and the customer had to go into each one of them individually to apply for financing to kind of see where they could get the best rates and stuff. And even though that's fantastic that they were able to deliver finance options to their customers, does anybody know what the average approval time is to get approved with Optimus for a consumer?
15 minutes.
It's about 8 seconds. So it's
was really fast.
incredibly fast. Have you seen it, Suzanne?
I did. The ride along that I was out 2 weeks ago, we had the Optimus financing available to us. What impressed me the most was they can the dispatcher can ask the customer about financing if they are interested in getting a link, goes right to their phone, gets a note into their record, technician goes out. We see that you requested information on financing. Did you have any questions? They'll say yes, they'll say no, and we can go about and do our work. And when we're ready to present, they already know what they've been approved for. The other piece of that is from the back end, the office also was able to see what they were approved for. So they were able to choose which technician would be best for that customer based on how that financing came back. So it was pretty exciting to see it.
That's awesome. And so, yeah, so Optimus uses multiple banks, but doesn't actually do a hard credit pull. And so they just do a soft credit pull, give an instant approval. Their flyer there says 90+% approval rates. Last I talked to the founder, though, they were running at 96%. And so what that means is even down to credit scores of about 500, they're getting the approval within 8 seconds to get that consumer that your customer, to get them money to be able to purchase deals. And so even with bad credit scores. And so the big thing is financing like this and this integration with Optimus, we've seen a considerable increase in closing rates, not to mention the actual amount of the job. Most customers spend a minimum of an extra 20% when there's financing available, but generally you'll close a considerable amount of more, if not 15 to 30% on a regular basis. So one of our other vendor partners and friends that we've been working with, honestly, for years, you've seen them at some of our shows, is Jackson Systems. So glad that they've continued a positive relationship with us, because we've always considered Jackson Systems, for those of you that are new with them, to really be a must-see manufacturer and distributor that just kind of specializes. And it's hard for me to even tell you what they specialize in, because it's a lot of stuff. But if it's like specialty stuff, like you're like, man, I wish there was a way to do this, they're kind of the people that do that. And they even can custom build control systems and stuff to kind of make your thoughts as a trade professional come to life. They work in the HVAC, electrical, and plumbing industries now. They've got specialty parts and services, but they're going to be actually showcasing some stuff for their IAQ whatever that's called. I forgot what it's called. AirLink system. That's what it is. So for their IAQ AirLink systems, and so we're excited to see what they're bringing to the table. But everything I think I've ever seen from them has been really neat. But one cool thing there, you'll see my note. It says that they private label your orders. So whether you're buying filtration systems or thermostats from them, Jackson Systems has the ability to laser engrave or put your color emblems and stuff on all your stuff. And so it doesn't look like something that we bought off of Amazon or anything like that. Anyway, good stuff there. Also, we talked about Daikin is our host at Ruby Falls there. And so just a shout out to Daikin. If you don't know who they are in the world of air conditioning, they are the #1 manufacturer in the world. So they're the largest manufacturer in the world. And they're really, really involved in the indoor air quality side of things. And so as far as manufacturers go, some of you have been to some of the IAQ workshops with John Ellis that's worked with us for years. And he specializes in their IAQ side of things. But one thing I like about Daikin the best is, Suzanne, when it comes to Daikin, everything I've ever been to them with, and I know you've been to several with me as well, they just are a future-focused company, and they really, really make decisions that just make sense. Whereas a lot of the other manufacturers and stuff I've dealt with over the years, some of their decisions are just very, very self-centered and don't always have the contractor in the best light. But I've been really impressed with the Daikin side of things. And of course, they represent the brands Daikin, Goodman, Amana, and many, many more under that umbrella. But they're going to be there at that location. Danielle, Suzanne, anything to say about them?
I agree with what you're saying, Matt, is that they are so future focused and they care about excellence, and they're really thinking about how to do things better into the future. So I love seeing the products that they come out with. I love seeing why they make the decisions that they make. And I really do think that they care about the contractor and the homeowner too. So very, very thankful to have them to be a partner.
Awesome.
Well said.
Suzanne, we were talking about before we jumped on here. I wasn't super familiar with this one. Suzanne, who is iWallet?
iWallet, that is one of our newer partners that Danielle and I have formed an agreement with. I'm very excited. They will be at Business Uncensored, and so you will be able to meet their co-founder. And really what they are known for is a new way for home service partners to process payments in the field. So they have a copyright on a check scan technology. And what that's going to allow your technician to do is to simply take their app and scan the check, and the money will be pulled right from that bank account. It's going to know before we do any work, is that check any good? They can also give that check right back to the homeowner, should they wish, because we don't need the check anymore. We've got it captured. And so there's no more lost checks. There's no more having to get to the office to give you the check so that somebody can go make a deposit. Efficiency, love it. They also have tap to pay for the credit card as well. They have a soft integration with almost every dispatch software out there. I have yet to find one that they can't. And the idea with that is there's no more having the technician carry around a piece of equipment. There is no more having the technician have to key into Service Titan or another dispatch software the credit card number, the expiration date, the CVC code, the address. It's capturing all of that just by simply tapping that to that device, phone, tablet, and it will capture it. Best part yet.
And on that, before you hit the best part, what I loved about that is I can't tell you how many times I've been out on a job with a service tech, and we got to the payment part, and the customer's like, "Oh, I want to give a credit card," and the technician had to run out the door and go back to the truck to get their little device and plug it in. And it's like there's this delay where the customer's just standing there awkwardly with their credit card, like what do I do now? And it's just kind of really a little bit unprofessional. And so when I saw that iWallet, I did see that your device, either your phone or your tablet, becomes the tap to pay. That was really cool that the credit card can just touch your device. You don't have to plug anything else in it, and it automatically captures that stuff for the credit card. That was neat. Thanks. What else is there about them?
Best part yet, I've found that with most of the coaching clients that have changed over to iWallet to date, they are saving between 1 and 1.5% on every credit card transaction they make.
Awesome.
That's awesome. Well,
Mhm.
then iWallet, so they'll be there. So while you're at Business Uncensored, make sure you stop and check out the people at iWallet. It's been a few years since we've had this partner there, but one of our longest lasting partners and friends has been with a company called Powerline Industries, which they're coming under the flagship of Total C, which is a product that you've seen us talking about at our different events and things for years. But just really, really great people. They actually are a part of Hot Jet USA as well. They build high temperature jetters for the plumbing industry and even pressure washers for those of you that are considering about adding lateral profit centers through jetting and pressure washing. And they not only build the equipment and will paint it in your colors, but they'll even teach you how to use it. And so we've had a great partnership with them, and they have absolutely great products. But you've probably heard me talking about Total C before. Really, one of my favorite products that we push because it's just so diverse. They'll be there talking about it as a drain treatment product, but we've got lots of members today that use it in their air conditioning maintenance calls, not only for cleaning out AC drains, but also for cleaning coils and units and everything. But it's an all natural product. And the best part about it is that Total C, for all of our members, they'll actually private label the product for you. And it is a product that is manufactured, sold to contractors only, so that your customer will never be able to find it online. If you do ever see it on Amazon or something like that, it'll say currently not available because Total C actually has a group of people that it's their job to go and pull it off of the internet when anytime somebody tries to sell it online. And so it's a great product that comes from you for you, private labeled with your company's phone numbers, logos, everything, and colors. And they do a great job. So we're excited to have Mo and his team there. So swing by his booth and chat with them as well.
You
Here's
tricked me
another
on that,
one.
Matt. I thought you were going to
What's
say
that?
the best part is the smell.
It is, it's
It's
funny that
the
you say that.
smell.
The best part is the smell because some of you have used drain treatment products before, like BioClean, Bio1, and even though they quote unquote work, and they do work, even though they do, man, a lot of those things smell like an outhouse. And I find that customers will use them once or twice, but that's it. The Total C product is a product that they keep using because that smell becomes part of the senses. They like that it sanitizes and gets rid of all the odors and bacteria. But the best part about it is that it leaves that lasting memory of when their bathroom or whatever starting to smell bad again. They're like, oh, I need to pour some drain treatment in there. And they'll do that so they use it and they reorder it. But you're right. That is the best part. So thanks for the reminder.
Yeah, it's a wow on
Um,
its own.
and I promise you guys, we don't have 100 vendor partners. We just got a few. There's only a couple here left. But this was a neat one. Suzanne, I think you probably helped bring this one in as well. Who is Zero?
Zero is right now the #1 rated AI power sales coaching app that's out there. It's going to transcribe and analyze the text in the field. Best part of it is the techs that are using that, which we are coaching with, we no longer have to guess when we get into the van where that technician is. It will simply allow us to go to the dashboard, pull back some calls, and it will allow us to actually review the data, analyze the data, so that when we are coaching with our members, we are coaching with real live statistics versus what somebody thought, what somebody's seen, what somebody heard. It's right there for us. It's available for the technician. It's available for the sales manager as well, to actually go back to the day and actually see where and how they can actually support that technician to get stronger. Best part
Neat.
yet, it does integrate with a lot of our dispatch softwares out there, and Service Titan is one of them. They just need to have their locations turned on inside their tablet. And what will happen is when that call is closed out, the recording goes right to that ticket. So you have a customer complaint, you have a customer concern, that recording's right there. You hear everything.
Awesome. Good job. That sounds cool. I haven't seen
Can
that
I
one
shout
yet.
out to Suzanne here on this one? Suzanne had been talking to Ciro and wondering if this would actually work well for our members. And so they, let her kind of see a demo account, and she's like, nope, that's not good enough. I'm not going to promote this product unless it actually can work with their business systems the way that they really need their teams to be running. And so she worked with the programmers for weeks over there. And they said to her, well, we're spending so much time programming this the way that you want. You need to pay us. She's like, no way. You need to pay me because I'm helping you fix your product for these contractors. And so thank you, Suzanne, for going above and beyond and going to bat for new flat rate members to make sure that this is a really, really great product to do what they need.
Yeah, and what they're gonna see when, when the team is there and showing and demonstrating the product, what they'll see is live actual pieces of our script being spoken by those technicians, and how the AI is rating the performance of that script. So yeah, we got a really strong partnership with them. They did some really cool things. It's kind of like a plug and play. If they choose to go with the new flat rate script, they can modify it a little if they want to. They can leave it as is, but yeah, it's really a plug and play. So I'm really excited for this partner.
Awesome.
Mhm.
And great job working with them. Hey, we know that keeping cash flowing in your company sometimes is difficult, and for some of us, in the world of home service business, we didn't necessarily go to business school and learn how to can do all the accounting and things as needed. And so, one of our partners that we've partnered with this year has been Blue Collar Business Advisors. Who knows about them?
I do. I'm excited to talk to them.
What do you
So
know?
they are a full outsourced CFO service company. So anything that you need to understand and how to get yourself financially on track, he will provide the resource for you to do that, or he will provide you the outsourced way to do that. So I'm real excited to get Paul in front of everybody, and let him understand, let them understand, how he can change their business.
And
Kind of
he
like
actually from an electrical contracting business, most
Yes.
recently, I think, right? Yeah. And so he's actually from contracting. And that's what's so great too, is he knows the ins and outs of the business, and then to be able to help provide visibility so you don't have to become an expert at your finances is really awesome.
That is great. And so make sure you get a chance to talk to Paul. Hey, for those of you that maybe you're thinking, how do I survive the slower seasons of the year? You know what? One of our long-lasting partnerships has always been with this company called Rotorbrush. And Rotorbrush is a company that they build duct cleaning machines. And the cool thing about their duct cleaning machines is they are probably the easiest piece of equipment to use that I've ever used in the home service industry. They make them very, very simple, very, very easy, and they become a constant revenue stream. But I get contractors all the time that say, well, Matt, should we go into duct cleaning? And my answer is absolutely you should, but not to make money at duct cleaning. And they look at me kind of like weird, like, what are you talking about? And Rotorbrush will probably tell you there's so much money in duct cleaning. And there's some money in duct cleaning, I'll be straight with you. But the money in duct cleaning is not from duct cleaning. The money in duct cleaning is from what the duct cleaning brings you to see. Because consumers that call for a duct cleaning estimate generally have either excessive dust in the home, or they've got severe allergies, or something that has to do with health. And they're thinking, where's all this coming from? We need to have our ducts cleaned out so we can breathe, so we can live. And we learned a long time ago that people will trade a small piece of their paycheck just to be green, to be cool, to have nice features. But they'll trade their entire wealth for the health and safety of their family. And so when it comes to duct cleaning, it brings us into our customer's home so we can actually solve problems like sealing the ductwork, adding surgical filtration, cleaning and maintaining the equipment, restoring it. And so the extra money is in all those things. Whereas a lot of companies may be out there today picking up $500 to $800 cleaning ductwork. Generally, when I was running duct cleaning estimates, generally I was getting between $3,000 and $6,000 for those jobs, sometimes more. but it's because we would clean the ductwork, but we would do all these other things with it because it just makes sense. And remember, the new flat rate, we have duct cleaning pages that can help you maximize each one of those jobs. But my favorite thing about it is really anyone can run their equipment. Some of the duct cleaning equipment in the industry is very difficult, requires whole trucks even. Rotor brushes is designed to be portable. And I remember we used to send our dispatcher out to actually run it when we didn't have anybody else. And it was really that simple and works really, really well. And so our friends at Rotor Brush will be there. Make sure you talk to them about their show specials at Business Uncensored as well. They've always treated our members very, very well. Another one, almost done here, only a couple left. We've got Lemon Seed Marketing going to be there. And Lemon Seed, you know what? They are just such fantastic people. And when you see them, they're always bright yellow, so you cannot miss them by any means. But when I think of Lemon Seed, Danielle, I always think of the company that their focus is, let's grow your brand right. Because that's really what they do well. They're really kind of becoming some of the brand experts in the industry and delivering that wow kind of 5-star experience across the board. And many of you have noticed we've got several different marketers this year going to be there. We've got 3 or 4 different marketing type companies going to be there, but they all have very unique niches and things that they do specially. And so make sure that you stop and you chat with the Lemon Seed people as well. And you'll see right there on the screen that they've got a money saving ad for you as well for getting signed up with them if you haven't done anything there. Anything to add?
I love Lemon Seed. Couldn't say enough great stuff. So
it's always there. And now this year it's Lemon Seed 2.0. So we gotta wait and see what that means. It's going to be amazing, I'm sure. Local Media House is going to be there as well. Local Media House is really the digital marketing that works for you is kind of their focus. And cool thing that they've got that little QR code there on the screen. I don't know if you can scan it. It's kind of small, but it says can you pass the checklist? And it's the ultimate digital marketing checklist. Kind of makes me wonder whether or not we're any good at digital marketing when I see somebody give out something like that. And so if you haven't had a chance to take their ultimate digital marketing checklist, go ahead and scan that and grab that for you. Just saying thanks for joining Business Uncensored's webinar here today. And of course, we want to give out a big shout out to our longtime friends and partners over at Service Nation Alliance, now used to be Service Roundtable, and they sent us this just asking for us to help throw out a plug there. Coming up in October is the Service World Expo that they put on every year down in Orlando, Florida. So that'll be coming up there. But Service Nation is really contractor coaching for success, and then they kind of climb and shine in the world of peer-to-peer accountability groups, just kind of making sure that you consistently have those people watching your back. And of course, we have online access. Online access has the company called hvacwebsites.com, but they provide websites for all facets of business. And a shout out to the owner of Online Access, a gentleman named Dave Squires. In the world of website design, honestly, he's got to be one of the smartest guys I've ever met. It doesn't mean that he's all that flashy. It's that he just builds things that tend to work. And it seems like every time I talk to our members that are using Online Access, they're like, man, our leads through our website have just kind of went through the roof. And that's really what they excel at. And they're incredibly affordable all at the same price. You don't get that a lot with companies. It's like the ones that really work are usually really, really expensive. And so, can it be affordable? And so I always like to say, hey, Online Access, this is the fast and proven and endorsed by the new flat rate members everywhere, would really be Online Access, and they can help you with tons of your internet marketing stuff as well. And then last but not least today, we have, of course, Leads Nearby. For those of you that haven't seen Leads Nearby or talked to them before, Leads Nearby is a really neat thing. I like to talk about them kind of like taking your company from marketing to marketing. Is kind of the whole thing about Leads Nearby. And they allow us to kind of capture the world of I guess you could even say like geofencing. Of geofencing as you're going in from job to job to job. Their whole thing is kind of maximizing Google and things of that with kind of how their software works. And so I'm not an expert at it, but I know you can see their sign there, and it kind of says they do a little bit of everything. But their program does have a very, very great niche of just making sure that everybody around each one of your service calls knows that you serve their area. So anytime they start looking for you, you're always coming up at the top of that list, which is a really, really cool thing. So all of that being said, we are super excited about Business Uncensored 2024 coming up October 1st through 4th. And so just before we kind of kick off here, looks like there's been some comments and things in the chats. Suzanne, have you watched any of those? Do we have any questions that we need to answer together? Or are there any more?
Danielle has handled all of those for us, so I think we're covered unless somebody thinks we didn't answer it quite how they wanted.
Awesome. Well, yeah, if we have anybody online that is not registered for this event yet, this is an event that you want to be at. Like I said, we help contractors keep their families together by helping contractors grow and ultimately maximize profits and revenue on every job. And we're bringing together not only vendors, but speakers and other peers that are really excited about helping you to that next level. I always talk about contracting not as a steady rise. It would be nice if we just constantly grew every single year and there was no problems. But contracting and business alike is stair steps. And you know what? Sometimes you need help to get up a stair step. Sometimes you need somebody to pull you. Sometimes you need somebody to push you. Sometimes you need both at the same time because some of those steps are really, really big. And so that's what Business Uncensored is about getting your company and your team and your family onto the next stair step so that everybody can not only take a breath, but start reaping some of those rewards a lot faster. So if you haven't already done it, check us out. Go to tnfrevents.com. And you can click on there and register for Business Uncensored 2024. If you got any questions, always feel free to give us a call at the new flat rate or even email us as well. And you can talk to any of us, and we're always happy to help. Danielle, Suzanne, anything to add?
Nice job. Thanks, Matt. Thanks everyone for jumping on here with us today. We're really excited for you to be able to be there and for everything that we're bringing, for you from not only with the speakers and the stage, but like Matt said, all these great partners. So can't wait for what's in store for you.
Awesome. Well, Suzanne,
Excited to
Danielle,
see everybody
thanks for jumping on. We are excited. So thank you again, everybody. Enjoy your evening, enjoy your weekend, stay safe, and God bless. And we will see you in sunny Chattanooga coming up here in just a couple weeks. See you later.
Come go with us.